Good morning, this is Jack from Charting the Markets, and this is the pre-market webinar for the morning of Thursday, the 23rd of July. My disclaimer, I do this for educational purposes only. I'm here to share my technical analysis with you. I am here to take some of what I'm doing and learn from it, transfer it to your own charts, and I'm not here to shoot trading signals. This is a video for paying subscribers at chartingthemarkets.substack.com. It's published on YouTube after a delay of 24 hours. All right, great. Let's have a look at ES. Now, ES, I've just written a post. Did you see that, Doug? I've got a post out. I posted about 3/4 of an hour ago or something. I'm talking about the setup here and suggesting that the most likely thing to do would actually be to erase the gains of the week so far. And well, that's probably going to happen. This would involve us going back below the daily middle band again, of course, and actually really on ES. Oh, it has gone down quite a bit since I wrote that post. Yeah, actually, we're back at the Friday lows already on ES. I've got an open double top target here with a target in the 74.30 area. I'm probably going to do a follow-up post with some downside targets because we're going to likely see some larger patterns also heading down today. NQ, I don't have a pattern. I'm wondering about a retest of the low here, and I think we're probably going to see that. RTY is now finally breaking down below this head and shoulder support. I haven't marked in the target for this, but I'll have it in for tonight's charts. But this is offhand. I would be thinking about, I'm thinking about somewhere in about the 28.35 area. YM obviously has already broken down from a head and shoulders. We've got a target for that in the 57.80 area. On DAX, possible IHS forming here. I was talking about this yesterday, and I was talking about a possible retracement back to test main support of the weekly pivot and the monthly pivot, and well, here we are. This would be an ideal right shoulder low if we see a turn back up here, which is very much in if territory in my opinion. ESTX, this is a possible overall head and shoulders here with a pretty decent looking right shoulder. This could break down too. Nikkei could be forming a right shoulder on a head and shoulders here. I've been talking about this all week, and that would be. Wait a second. I'm just going to redraw this line here and remove a bit of confusion on the chart. Right, that would be the head and shoulder neckline. And again, we can see that breakdown today as well. I mean, we've got the alternate of the bull flag setup that's underthrown, but it's a dual setup, this one. And if we see a sustained break below 63,000, well, this is the larger head and shoulders breaking down too. All right, let's have a look at these on the bigger picture charts. And wait a second. Okay, looking at stocks, I was looking at this on the post this morning, and this is basically a binary setup where we can either fail the head and shoulders or continue down. My lean would be probably continue down. We've still got an RSI 14 sell signal fixed on the daily. You can see though there that this is a binary setup. We've got a head and shoulders that's already broken down. We've got a possible alternate head and shoulders which is forming, and we've got a possible bull flag falling wedge, which is actually pretty nice. We will see, but for this to get to the stage where I'd be looking for a retest of the all-time high, we would need to break above this right shoulder high at 13.24907. In terms of the dailies, we've got ES, and ES did close above the daily middle band, didn't it? Yes, it did, by 7 handles. We had a break above the daily middle band on Tuesday. We saw a close above it on Wednesday, but that was somewhat weakened, as I've been saying every day, by the Qs being still below the daily middle band, although we have seen a nice rally from the 3SD daily lower band touch that we saw at the weekend. But this is still in bear territory. Dia has been testing the daily middle band for 2 days and has closed below it both days. That is leaning into bear territory. Looking at the hourly charts, nothing really to see, I don't think, and I don't think on the 15-minute charts either. I don't think we've got any buy signals. Not really. So I'm leaning towards this heading down today. We will see. Now, what happens when we reach the Friday lows? Well, we could potentially find more support there, or we could just get out. So, and at the moment, well, We have been seeing a very strong thing of the, on the open, the market goes up. And I'll be waiting to see whether that delivers today. But IWM, again, has been testing the daily middle band from below and failed. So while we have had one of these indices break back above the daily middle bands, it is a low. And we would need something rather broader based to be thinking seriously about whether we're going to see a decent breakup. Here on IWM, obviously we've got a nice looking head and shoulders. I think that's probably going to break down today, and we will see how that delivers. We do actually have a little bit of a 15-minute buy signal forming here, but it's not much of a signal. In terms of DAX, we closed back above the daily middle band yesterday, somewhat, but it's probably going to fail straight below it again today. Nikkei didn't get back to the daily middle band, and of course we have the old possible alternate head and shoulders forming here, as well as the possible bull flag. This would actually be the largest pattern. If we were to see a sustained break below this, this would actually have a target in about the 52k area. That actually is quite a large pattern. We shall see. All right, great. Let's have a look at the DX chart. DX is now making some progress to the upside here. Not quite seeing all of that here. Let's just change that around slightly just to update it. All right, so we're now heading for the bull flag target, which is a retest of this high here, which is about the 101.5 area. This is being reasonably well backed up. USD, nice break below flag support. GBP USD, not entirely sure what's happening here, to be honest. USD JPY is heading higher. I think I have said before on the bigger picture webinar that we've got clear space up into potentially about 169. USD CAD, still not quite sure what's happening here. Australian dollar, this looks like a bear flag, but a nice looking double top here, which is not broken down yet, but might. NZ, we actually broke down for a little double top here, and that's reached the target now, I think, although I must remember to mark that in before I post the charts today. That's progress. Is this a bear flag? Not really. But the main thing I'm watching here is we've got an IHS which is broken up, and if we see a sustained break, if we see a break at all below this right shoulder low in about the 57.35 area, 57.40 area maybe, then at that stage this fails and we've got a target and a retest of the low. All right, looking at bonds. Bonds have most definitely been heading down. This is something we've seen before as the Iran war has been hotting up, and well, we're certainly seeing it this time. Next obvious target is a retest of the May low, and we're getting actually pretty close to that. Looking at YN and ZN, we've already retested the May low. Nice fail down from here, and I'm not seeing much reason to think that we're going to rally, although we do have a possible 60-minute buy signal brewing. We may well lose that divergence today, though. Looking at oil. We've seen a pretty decent looking move up, so I'm just going to update the prices on here too. We've seen a pretty decent move up, and this is, well, obviously the Strait of Hormuz is still closed, but we've also got the Bab el-Mandab Strait, which is where a lot of the displaced oil from the Strait of Hormuz has been going through, has now been closed by the Houthis, and a tanker was on fire after trying to exit through there yesterday. A number of tankers have gone through, have turned round, but of course a fully loaded VLCC, a very large crude carrier, cannot actually go through the Strait of Hormuz, the Suez Canal, which would be the obvious other way through. Well, they can go through half laden if they unload half of their oil on board. The tanker which was destroyed last night appears to have made the wrong decision on that one. I'm hoping there isn't too much of an oil spill, but in terms of, is it surprising? Not really. In terms of CL, heading up to highs over 90 now. HO, yeah, Coil, I'm just about to change over this weekend to the October contract, and at that stage this is going to drop back to about 93. It's going to be interesting to see how that impacts the spot price, which it shouldn't really, but the spot price is about $4 or $5 lower at the moment. HO heading at new highs, RBAR but making higher highs. I've got nothing suggesting really any of these are going to turn. NG, we've got a little double bottom here, which is broken up with a target in the 3.052, 3.062 range. This isn't really affected by the war, so we shall see. All right, let's have a look at the bigger picture charts on oil. Okay, I drew in this trend line last Friday as a target, and we are going through it slightly. I have drawn in a potential alternate rising channel trend line, which is a couple of bucks above and may well be the next target. And actually, that's a match with the channel target on Brent, or at least a reasonably good match. Really, we're going to be hitting that within a buck. How important are those levels? Well, this is a potential head and shoulder neckline here, which I've mentioned as well. But really, I'd quite like to see this channel break up, and I'm thinking it might. So we shall see. In terms of what I'm really watching here are the 3SD upper bands. Now let's just have a quick look, close-up look here on Brent. And obviously we are on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, day 8 of this upper band ride. But what I'm watching here now is the 3SD upper band. Now this is actually opened up quite a bit, and I've got this currently at 105.48. This was when I was saying we needed to consolidate for a couple of weeks to allow the bands to turn last week, and then I was saying that potentially this could start rising at several bucks a day. I was talking about this sort of situation where the bands have turned up and the bands have also expanded a lot. So we can go up a lot and not hit the 3SD upper bands now. But nonetheless, it is still something I'm looking at. And in terms of could we see a $5 increase in a day? Yeah, we could. At this point, the war news is not good. In terms of YM, WTIC, we've got, let's have a quick look at that. Let's reset that. All right, looking at WTIC. Again, I think this is day 8, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it is. We're a little further away from the daily upper band there, it looks like, but not in practical terms actually, because that's 95.97. We still need to go up $5 today to have a shot at hitting it. But we are a little above. I'd like to see this staying around the daily middle band, really, in terms of basing around it. When's this daily upper band going to finish? Well, it could be a while. So I mean, with mild changes in terms of pullbacks, this one here lasted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Lost it for a day, but 9, 10, 11, 12 before we started losing it on WTIC on the last one. So we could go another 4 days and go up another $10. Pretty easy. So we will see how that goes. But at the moment, the war is not going well. In terms of heating oil, I'm still expecting to see a retest this high here at 4.71. This looks like a flag, and it's broken up. In terms of gas oil, looking for a retest of the high here too. I've got that 3.778. It is not that far away. Natural gas, we're seeing a bit of a bounce here. I'm going to be watching the daily middle band, which is at 3.06 for potential resistance. And we have got a weak RSI 5 buy signal, which is fixed. All right, great. Let's have a look at GC. GC, we had a sell signal, and SI, we had a sell signal last night, and both of those are making target at the moment without getting close to a retest of the low. I'm still wondering about a possible retest of the low on GC, but at the moment we're just back testing broken resistance and may continue up from here. In terms of SI, this is a potential level bottom. Palladium didn't make the flag target. I'm being encouraged to see this not going down much, as oil's been going up a lot. Initially, when we were in the Iran war, we were seeing gold fall quite a lot. We've not seen that this time, and that's good. Platinum, again, kind of broke down from bear flag. Not a particularly nice one, but it hasn't retested the low yet. I'm still wondering if that's possible. HG, not sure this is a flag anymore. Looking at KC, looks like a bullish consolidation. SB maybe rejecting back up to the highs from this double top that's broken down with a target in 13.98 to 14.13 area. I am thinking there is a good technical case for a retest of this low, though. On CC, CC, we either have a head and shoulders breaking down with a target in the 4,400 area, or this is a bull flag forming, which would have a target in the 6,500 area. Still in the balance as to which one of those is likely to be the case, I think. Lumber retested the high and is continuing higher at the moment. Current negative divergence. CT is well, CT, we've got a problem here because I had an IHS breakup and that failed, which would normally give us a retest of the low. Doesn't seem to want to do that at the moment, but if we retest this high here, that could be the second high of an oversized double top. ZW is continuing higher at the moment. Corn is continuing higher at the moment. Soy is continuing higher at the moment. ZL is getting closer to a retest of this high here, which is the obvious next target. Live cattle, we've got a weak 6-minute bicycle fixed, not delivering anything so far, and we've got an open head and shoulder target in the 204.45 area. HE, we've got a 6-minute sell signal fixed, which again hasn't been delivering anything so far, and we've got an IHS which is broken up with a target in the 92.5 area. All right, great. Let's have a quick look at questions. All right, great. In that case, I think that's a wrap. Everyone take care. I'm going to either get another oil post and an update out on today or tomorrow morning. So watch out for that. And we shall see how this goes. Getting pretty interesting here. Yeah, we shall see. All right, great. Catch you tomorrow. Cheers.